Today we will go for the last topic of this chapter, muscles. So, what are the muscles? They are long bundle of the contractile tissue which can help us many ways in our body. So, first of all we will see which are the functions of the muscles in our body. First, they provide movements. Second, they give us a skeletal framework. They cover the skeletal and give us the framework. They also give contour, it means shape to our body. Muscles help us to maintain the body posture while sitting, standing or walking. Now we will see how it look like and what is the detail about it. As I told you, they are the long bundles of contractile tissues. Each muscles have two ends. Now these two words you have to remember. Which two ends? One end which is called as fixed end and the another which is called as movable end. Now what is this fixed end and the movable end? See here. In this picture you can identify this is called as fixed end. In medical terminology it is called as origin. These words are not in your syllabus. So what is fixed end? Where the muscles are attaching to the bone or the cartilage. So that is called as origin or the fixed end. But when they are attached to the movable part of the bones, then it is called as movable end. In medical terminology it is called as insertion. This word also it is not in your syllabus. So this is called as fixed end and this is called as movable end. Now see here, at the movable end you will find tendon. So movable end is drawn out to form a tough structure, the tendon, and this tendon is attached to the long bones. When these muscles are stimulated, it means when they want to contract or relaxed by the nerves, and the muscles will contract to become shorter. When this hand will be goes this side, then the muscles will become shorter and thicker, and thus it pulls the bones at the movable end. This bone will be not move. Which will move? This bone will be moved. So which part of the muscles will be useful for that? Movable end with the help of tendon. Now the fact is muscles can only contract and relax, but they cannot be lengthened, or you can say that they cannot be lengthened or shortened. They cannot increase or decrease in their sizes, but yes, for particular time period they can be contract or relaxed. Now we'll go for the next point. What is antagonistic muscles? So here, the structure which has been moved by muscles and it cannot be returned to its original position without the action of another muscles. That is a definition of antagonistic muscles. Which is the example here? It's very famous name to you, biceps and triceps muscles. Now see again, what is antagonistic muscles? Here I am telling you in very common language, but do not use this for the definition to write down in your exam. Muscles which act in the opposition to each other, they are called as antagonistic muscles. Now see what is example. The upper one which is called as biceps muscles and the lower one which is called as triceps muscles. Now how they are the example of antagonistic muscles? the biceps muscles of the upper arm. When it work, when we want to bend our arm, at that time the biceps muscles will be contract. When we want to bend our arm, at that time this biceps muscles will be contract. But the same time triceps muscle will never contract, it will be relaxed. Opposite to it, when we are straighten our arm, then what will happen? The biceps muscles will be relaxed, but the triceps muscles will be contracted. So here you can see both the muscles are acting opposite to each other. So again I am telling you, as per book, what is the definition? A structure. Here these two muscles we are taking as an example. So a structure which has been moved by the muscles cannot be returned to its original position without the action of another muscles. For example, if the biceps muscles want to be in original position, then the triceps have to contract it. And when triceps want to be relaxed in position, at that time biceps will be contracted. Okay, so these are the example of antagonistic muscles. Now two words you have to remember which is given in our book, that this biceps muscles are called as flexor and this triceps muscles are called as extensor muscles, because triceps always contracted when we want to extend our hand, when our arm is straightened. Now next topic, kind of muscles. This is a kind of revision from the chapter number 3. So as we have seen, there are 3 type of muscles: voluntary, involuntary and the cardiac muscles. Voluntary muscles always work on our will, and the example is skeletal muscles. Second is involuntary muscles. They will never work on our will. Many examples were there. Here I have mentioned urinary bladder muscles. Next is cardiac muscles. They were present on the heart wall. And as you know, the cardiac muscles are capable of the rapid movement and they do not tire easily. Now see some of the example. Eyelid and the diaphragm muscles. These muscles can act as both voluntary and involuntary when we need it. Now next is coordinations of muscles. Most of action in our body, like standing, walking, running, playing tennis, these all the things are the combined actions of many muscles. They are not only because of one muscles. For example, if you want to take this glass, so only one muscles will never work. Both triceps and biceps have to work together. So same like that, many muscles will work together, then and then only we can do some action. So at the great extent, the muscles have to be coordinated for the particular kind of the movement. Now next we will see lever mechanisms. For different kind of movements, the body have to go for different mechanisms. That is called as lever mechanism. Here we have to see 3 lever mechanisms: first order, second order and third order. Now before going for these mechanisms, I'll just show you what these 3 terms, power, weight and fulcrum. See here, for example, this is called as lever arm. This portion is called as lever arm. The load which we are taking as a weight and the force which we are taking as a power here. Now you know what is fulcrum, which balance this and this. Okay. So afterward we'll go for what do you mean by the first order, second order or third order lever mechanisms. First order lever mechanism, where the fulcrum is exactly in the middle, which balances weight and power. Where it is present, arm and elbow, and the best example is skull and second vertebrae in this neck region. So what will happen here? The fulcrum will be in middle. Whatever weight we are giving, because of that the power will be generated, which gives the movement. This first, second and third order movement, I'll share you another video, 3D video, so you can easily understand which kind of movement will be occur in the skull and this second vertebrae. Here what you have to remember, the fulcrum will be in the middle, which balances weight and power, and because of that we can move our head above, up and down, back side. Second is second order mechanism. You can see here fulcrum is at the end, but we are putting a weight in the middle, so the movement will be done here. The best example on the toes. When a person want to up the leg on the toe, so fulcrum will be here because it balances it at this portion, and the weight will be here, and because of it we can pull our leg towards this region. So this is second order. Now in third order, here also fulcrum is at the end, but the difference is weight is not in the middle like this. Weight we are applying here at the end. So here the P will be in the middle. The best example is arm and the biceps muscles. See here, the fulcrum is here at the end. Weight we are applying here, and this is our P. So these are the first, second and third order. You can easily observe this figure also. The first one, the first order, here they have written load and effort in this way. Okay, so load and effort will be equal, so that the movement of head will be this side and this side can be happen. Second order, I have just now told you, the fulcrum will be at the end, and here you can stand on your toes. So here is your fulcrum. The weight will be lies on it, but the movement you will show in this area. And the last one is the speed lever. It is called as speed lever. So what will be happen? If you want to take something, pull something, so you have to balance here. Your effort will be here in this portion because your muscles are here. Okay, and the weight you can carry the load from this area. Hope you are clear with this three lever mechanism, three orders of lever mechanism in our body. In your book it was given one word in the second figure or the second order. Gastrocnemius muscles. What it mean like? These gastrocnemius muscles are present here in the lower region of the leg, but at the back side, not at the front side. So it is a name of muscle